hope that's not indicative of anything. Yep. And then I got a 20 on less, so as soon as I can figure out a way to get advantage on initiative rolls. Dehedro, if it's at all possible, could you boost yourself on Discord just a little bit? Just a little quiet on my side. That's much better, thank you. I'd already gotten you up at 200% over here, I couldn't do anything more. Alright. I've got 20 seconds. And now we're hot.
All right.
Fantastic timing. It also turns out that I apparently didn't have my mic turned off, so that entire chat was caught. Yay.
Uh-oh.
On my side,
Yay.
anyway.
Yeah, I got the wrong screen on. Let's change my screen cap so I'm on the right screen for everybody here. This one. There we go. Technical difficulties right away.
What else is new?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons, our favorite jaunt through the jungle in Tomb of Annihilation. We are joined by the normal crew.
Hello.
Everybody say hi.
I'm the abnormal crew.
Which is what makes you normal.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we are knee deep, or more than knee deep in the jungle here. Way, way into Chilt. As you guys are moving about with a mission to get to Ataz Yikwaza.
Ataz Yakwaza. I see a...
We were trying to go to Ataz Kalakla.
But
now we are
then we got
going
lost
to Ataz. We are going to Ataz Yilakwa or Omu.
You're going this general direction.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We were trying to go
southwest we're headed southwest in northeasterly direction.
Exact. Going southwest by the northeasterly directions, but occasionally heading southeast, going by the northwesterly directions.
Yep.
Yep.
Are you confused yet? I am. And if you are,
that's okay.
Good. You're right up there with the rest of us.
Yep. Everybody's lost. This is why the journey has gone back and forth a little bit. Quite literally sometimes. right, last part that we had, you guys had an encounter with a pack of ghouls that didn't go too horribly, too bad for you guys. You guys pretty handily handled said ghouls, and it was still about midday as you guys moved on past all of the ghouls.
How many more times will the DM say ghouls in the next 5 minutes?
It's a ghoulish thing to think of.
Indeed. Alright.
As you folks will pass on, continuing down.
Sorry, just was looking at things.
No problem. You will come across, after traveling for just a little bit longer, a very gruesome scene.
Shauna was
Um,
leading the way.
yeah,
Oh,
we're still
so
in the same
now
day
we
that
can
was.
blame you.
Well,
Aw,
I
shit.
did roll a good. I think I was the one who rolled in a high number during our little jaunt.
That was a long time ago in the dice log, so I'm not gonna try digging through it.
She was the one that basically got you guys unlost.
Oh, so
Yes.
true.
But after you guys cleared out those ghouls and traveled along a little while longer, you will have found a gruesome scene. A what looks to be a caravan of some kind, wrapped and destroyed. Um, Bodies strewn about the small kind of path that it was trying to carve through out all of the jungle, and bodies, as I said, strewn about. No survivors, it looks like. So most of the carts seem to be also looted, as crates and other obvious um, containers have already been broken into. But you do see a few things that look like they could potentially still contain items.
Hmm. A caravan in the jungle. Been a while since I thought of this. There was this one merchant who I was looking at, a bookseller. Probably worth. If anything was stolen out of here, they probably wouldn't think twice about a book.
Who reads anyway?
You do remember you're speaking to a librarian, yes?
Who reads anyway?
Ugh. Whatever. So
Shauna
Diggory is
can't
going
keep
to.
a.
Oh, go ahead.
Shauna couldn't keep a chuckle to herself. Yes, I was looking back and I did stack a crit 20.
Oh, good. Right. Anyway, so Diggory is going to put his boat down because remember, he's carrying a boat.
Yep.
And he's not going to let it go.
You're damn well I'm not gonna let it go. Yeah.
Not after the goblins.
I take 1 day off. Oh, I didn't fix my alerts. Whatever. I take 1 day off and to recreationally T-pose, and I get captured by goblins. Yeah, of course I'm not gonna let that go. I'm gonna rummage through the cart and see what's left to be seen.
Go ahead and make me either perception or investigate.
Right, I bet you I know exactly what I'm
You're
gonna be
doing-
rolling.
We'll join in.
Go, investigation! 18. Damn it.
Well, Diggory, as you will go along, you will find out that this caravan
Nope, too distracted.
was a um was an expedition to try and find what was going on with the death curse.
Hmm.
Um led by you find some reports of what they were going through, and that the group was led by a guide by the name of Iku.
Does that name sound familiar?
You will also find a sack of 50 gold. Idun, you will find a very ornately designed um, iron strongbox
One of these.
that is locked right up locked at the front. Um, and as you kind of pick it up and tilt it a little bit, you can hear a few things rolling around inside.
Do purple mushrooms usually grow around these areas? Poke, 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 poke,
Are
poke,
you
poke.
really giving the DM ideas?
Hmm.
Like, just saying this as a DM who has recently played around with purple mushrooms for a different table, don't give the DM ideas.
I mean, I rolled a 2, so why not?
Hey, Kitsu, call even or odds.
Oh, you get. I'm not gonna deny my own thing from pointing out the ideas, but still.
Well, let's go odds, because yeah, today is odd.
Could I roll
Okay.
sleight of
As
hand
you're
for trying to open the chest thingy first?
Can you do what for open the roll to try and open
Uh,
the chest?
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, if you have these tools, yes, you can try to pick the lock.
Uh, I have the proficiency for thieves' tools. I do not have any on my person.
You
Yeah.
would need thieves' tools to actually pick the
Okay.
lock. Otherwise,
Could I try punching the lock?
you can try punching the lock, yes.
Just
Yeah.
unarmed strike? Or unarmed strike? Or,
Roll an attack roll.
okay. Whip.
However you want to attack.
Rolled a 24.
You will get a solid hit, and you notice that you slightly dent the iron, but it has also dented your fist back a little bit. You take 1 point of damage for punching it. It does not seem to be any looser, though.
Hmm.
Meanwhile,
You want help there, lad?
as
Nah.
Okay.
Shauna is poking at a group of mushrooms, she happens to find a relatively large specimen that almost seems bursting at its seams, and she can't help but poke that one. And a
Oh,
large puff of spores erupts directly in her face. Um, and you will watch as she locks up and collapses into the middle of the mushroom area, completely paralyzed.
help me.
Hmm. Oh boy. Well, this could be interesting. Hmm. All right. Hey,
Eh,
Les, why don't you come over here and help me out? We both have mage hand. Let's see if we can't get her out without paralyzing ourselves.
Oh, the spores are very quickly dissipated after they erupted right in her face. Um, for both Les and Diggory, go ahead and make some perception checks for me, Chun.
All right. Well, here's Les. I have to remember that I have to keep on the page. All right, so Les sees nothing and Diggory just about everything.
You will actually notice, Diggory, um, as Les is actually running up very fast to help Shauna out, that the mushrooms have formed a perfect circle around Shauna.
I'm still gonna use Mage Hands, but I'm just going to catch Les's cuff and stop her from running all the way in.
She
We're
gets yanked back and falls on her butt, and she looks at you quite upset.
I'm terribly sorry, Les. I know I was the one that suggested it, but that fairy ring. It's a little concerning. We're gonna do this carefully. Again, I apologize for your embarrassment. Well, let's go get her, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not trying to be chaotic, I'm trying to be cautious.
No, above board. I'm wanting chaos right now.
How are you going about? How are you going about this, Diggory?
Hmm. I'm still tempted to just to try and you double mage hand this, but
What's the maximum lifting weight?
well, between the two hands, 20 pounds. But
I'm pretty sure that they would not be able to lift or drag out Shauna in full armor plus all of her kit.
yeah, it was a thought at least. It, it was
It's a good thought, yes.
yeah. I was really more looking to see like, wait, do we both have mage hand? Yes, we do. Okay. Um. All right. Well, this is probably going to be embarrassing for Shauna one way or the other. I'm gonna grab a hold of like. I'm gonna assume one of her legs is closer to the edge.
A little bit, yeah. You still have to reach in, but you don't actually have to completely
All right.
enter the ring of mushrooms.
All right. I'm going to carefully reach in, grab hold of one of Shauna's legs, instruct Les to do the same on the other if she can reach, and then we're just going to drag her as best we can.
As your heads, because you do have to lean over the edge of that to enter the ring of mushrooms. Um, Chun, call even or odds for both characters.
Oh, this is gonna be good. All right. You know what? Let's take it. Heads, even.
Okay, that's for Diggory. You can go ahead and call it for Shauna as well. I mean, it's not
For
Shauna.
less.
For Les. I mean,
Yes.
sorry.
Okay. In for a penny, in for a pound. Even.
Okay, very fun. Hey, John, can I borrow you in sidebar?
Okay. Oh, here we go. Wait, this is gonna be
Before you
fun.
Here,
see,
1 second. What's up?
uh, could I, since Idune's probably not caring about this at all and just focused on the chest that she picked up, could I use one use of my breath weapon to do, like freeze the lock?
Mm. Check.
Yes, but it's not really going to do a whole heck of a lot.
Oh, because
You
she's going to
might.
punch it again after she freezes it.
I'll
But
allow it. It's not going to accomplish a whole lot, but if you get a decent enough roll and deal enough damage, yeah, it might.
well, the breath weapon would just get used to freeze it, so it's more hopefully more brittle, and she's going to use force instead of bludgeoning this time.
All right, let's resolve that really quick, and then I will steal over um, Chun.
So a 9 in force instead of bludgeoning.
You only get a glancing blow with that hit, where even as you're trying to hit the lock, you kind of hit the edge of it and end up just punching the chest more itself, which is a lot more sturdy than the lock. Again, you kind of notice that yeah, you have slightly dealt more damage to the lock and a decent chunk to the actual box, but you have to also it also punches back and you take another point of damage.
She will open this box no matter what. She is very focused on this box.
But while that's happening, I am going to borrow Sean over into sidebar, and we'll be back in just a few moments.
Yay! I'm in danger.
All right.
Hell, making your way in this world today takes everything you got.
Yep. Sean, um, welcome to the sidebar fun.
Yay! I think it's the first time we've actually used it this campaign.
Yes, it is. This is the first time something like this has really happened, especially since Les won't really be able to talk about it because, silent character. But anyway, both um, Diggory and Les seem to see time just freeze as their heads cross over the barrier of um, mushrooms. As after a few moments of just sitting there, watching their hands slowly reach towards Shauna, um, they notice a pair of very uh, fit looking and attractive looking legs kind of approach and then stay just inside their eye range.
Interesting.
After a few moments of just watch of them just standing there, a voice reaches out. Oh my! You two seem stuck. You hear their fingers snap, and suddenly time seems to be going normal, at least for Diggory, but you can't fully move.
When I observed Fairy Ring before, I wasn't imagining how literal it might have been.
No, this it's very strange though. This portal hasn't been used for years. But you seem to be kind of coming through. Anyway, may I have your name?
Hmm. This possibly would have worked had I not tried the same trick myself.
A
You may be
trick?
made aware of my name.
Well, yes. If I can have your name, that would be great.
I retain its possession.
Yeah, well, then at least could I help you out? You and your friends seem at least stuck.
An observation that I'm sure could be considered accurate.
No, if you would like, I'm more than happy to help you out, stranger.
I imagine I'm still not able to really move.
You're moving just very slowly and accomplishing your original task as trying to reach out towards Shauna's legs.
Hmm. It would seem that my original intention is gonna be a bit longer than I had initially thought. The aid would be most appreciated.
Oh, perfect. More than happy to help out. And with that, she will place her hand on your head and say, "Oh, no, I've helped. And now you're mine." And with that, we'll go back to General.
Interesting.
Hello.
Hopefully, you guys didn't have too much fun.
We did in discussing
Yeah.
why Chun didn't use his shadow.
You know, that is a remarkably good idea. One that I have been almost anal in consistently using.
Which is why I'm surprised you didn't use it.
Yeah, same here.
And one that my character probably would have said, "Hey, why don't you use your shadow?" if she was not obsessed with the box that she was holding.
To that end, why were you obsessed with the box you were holding? You could have
Because
solved this.
she
Could have stopped this entire shenaniganery.
because she wants to open the box. She found a box with the lock on it. She wants to open it.
Shun,
Hey.
or Diggory and Les will finish their task, reaching down and pulling Shauna out of the ring of mushrooms. Um, as they stand up, is anybody paying attention to them?
The Dune is not.
Oh, good. Idune's not paying attention because she's dealing with her box. Yet Shauna is paralyzed and getting pulled out of a fairy ring, and I know nothing about Ramirez's character to make any variety of a joke.
Short.
Yes. Yes.
Standing by, just watching all the chaos going on now.
Okay, well, Ramira will, since you're kind of just looking at everything that's going on, you will notice that both Diggory and Les have over their face, like it's being cupped by something, a blue handprint on their faces now.
Where?
What?
You got a blue handprint on your face, chum.
Hmm.
Diggory.
Okay. Oops, sorry.
No worries. Oh,
Gratifying.
After about
this is certainly.
after a few more kind of you've been working on this for long enough now. Um, taking a few take I'm taking guessing you're probably taking a few extra punches at it. You'll eventually get a kind of a lucky jab, and you will pop the lock open.
Yay!
Bing.
And at that point as well, too, Shauna, you will have woken up from your paralysis.
Bleh. Oh, that was a good sleep. Ow.
I know generally that the line is don't poke the bear, but perhaps we shouldn't poke the mushroom.
I mean, it would have made for really good paint.
What mushroom?
In
Go back to your box.
in said box, you will find a small onyx orb with maze-like patterns carved into its surface, and then a uh, leather tube that has what seems to be actual gold caps on both sides.
Ooh. Hey, Diggory, can you identify these things? I have no idea what they are, but they look cool and I like them.
Hmm. Well, if we want to take some time, certainly. Don't. And by the way, just a complete side note. Don't, and I do mean don't, touch the fairy ring. I'm gonna go about.
Want me to freeze it?
I want
It'd
you
probably
to
freeze
leave
it.
it the fuck alone. I'm gonna take
I
10
could.
paces over this direction, sit underneath a tree, and sure, yeah, I'll run a ritual cast. Identify on these things. I mean, I'm sure the one is a very fancy scroll case.
There is no magic on either of them.
Well, we spent some time, but I didn't spend spell slots. I'm happy with that. Well, they're not magical, but what are they? It's still identify.
One is a small onyx orb. You can tell that while there's no magic in the orb, it could be used as an arcane or druidic focus. Um, and the other just seems to be a like a scroll tube or a map tube.
All right. Well, one, hmm. One is a magic focus of sorts, druidic from the feel of it, and the other, yes, it appears to have just been a tube. So 1 second. Yeah. Open it up, see what's inside.
There is a piece of some kind of leather or parchment inside that you can see.
No, reading.
At least there's a few of us that can. All right, carefully pulling it out.
Keep you the orb, though.
Fair by
It
me.
is it is a map on what you can tell seems to have been some form of dinosaur skin turned into leather.
Very
Um,
nice.
it shows a very badly drawn map of Chult. Um, you can tell by the current map that you have that you've been kind of keeping track of your journey, and there's missing peninsulas and things aren't just where they seem, but you can tell there is Port Nyanzaru that has been clearly marked. And then there is another um, area that is marked as the Jahaka Anchorage.
Hmm. Well, Interesting and durable material. Penmanship needs work as well as some cartography skill. Rough and amateurish. Not that I would do any better, but functional to a point.
I, Chen, you're gonna hate me for this thought, but I'm getting Diggory in the Magic School Bus.
Okay. Let's explore this. Elaborate. Parse this for me because I actually very much love the Magic School Bus unironically. Genuinely. What character is Diggory? And please don't tell me it's Arnold.
Miss Frizzle.
Thank you.
You are magical
Okay,
now, so
who are the
I'm the
everyone else then?
I'm the magical school bull is what I am.
Oh, dear goddess.
Ah.
Well, cruising
No.
on down Main Street, you're relaxing, feeling good. I'll stop there. But yes, I do remember the entirety of that theme song, and I'm not upset about it.
I don't remember a lot of the other characters that bring to mind of who others in our group would be, but the fact that I'm playing Chaotic Gremlin right now, yeah, let's have fun.
Chaotic Gremlin?
Oh
Wanda.
my god.
yeah, Wanda. But with that, as you guys are studying the map, the sun does get pretty low. You set up camp for the night, which goes relatively smoothly, although the heat has been starting to get even hotter lately.
Ugh.
As you get deeper and deeper into the jungle
I'm
and a little
going.
bit closer to the peak of flames.
All right. I'm going to take a bit of this time this evening and attune to that mall that we found the other day.
Okay. Do me a favor.
Oh no.
Roll me a d20.
Oh. Cruising on down. No. I'm not gonna do the brain rot shit.
One or two d20s.
Just one.
There's your one. 12.
Okay. You will attune, no problem.
It's
You will
cursed.
feel though as you begin attuning to that your cheek, where you are guessing that that handprint that you tried feels a little bit warmer.
I'm so tempted to just firebolt that thing. Either that or step bodily through it. I don't know which.
Well, you can't. It's a part of nature. I don't think you would want to to do that.
I could freeze it.
Neither than that.
I genuinely don't believe it's a part of this nature. As he just give a broad sweeping gesture. You're correct. It's seemingly to be some kind of nature, if my suspicions are correct. But this is
The night passes relatively uneventfully. Everybody goes back up to full HP. Um, Diggory and Les, you guys do have some really weird dreams throughout the night. Doesn't affect anything, but boy, can you feel like you've been, tripping on something for a little while.
Tax just playing in the back of Diggory's head.
God damn it! Why do you? If if that's going to be any sort of a thing, could we at least ways not have like the holo patron BB Boo? Could it be like almost anybody else? Oh boy.
You are visited by Gura all night long.
And I'll take that.
Nah, here's what your dream was.
Do you remember? The 25th of September!
Just that stream. All 8 hours of it.
Regardless of the situation, I finally get done with that exhaustion, so
The morning will dawn. It is surprisingly cool this morning, actually, and very overcast. As almost immediately after you folks break down camp, it begins to torrentially rain around you.
under normal circumstances, Diggory says while shifting his load on his back, the boat protects you from the water beneath you.
Who would like to be our guide for the day?
Definitely
take
not
it all.
Shauna.
How good? Give me a moment.
All right, give me the survival roll.
Son of a!
And we're lost again.
All right.
Damn it.
See here.
Ramira takes the lead in her first step out of camp, right in the fairy ring. Ladies and
And then
gentlemen,
Max
we're no longer playing Tomb of Annihilation, but Wild Behind the Witchlight.
Nope. Somehow you have found yourself between the in the astral sea on a spelljammer ship.
To some point, I'll take it.
You guys head off, confident in your guidance from your guide, who has stepped up and just immediately headed off in a direction. It seems like the right direction for now.
Note
And now
to
we're not
self,
smoking anything.
Note to self, whenever we find ourselves back in Port Nyanzaru, I don't care what the cost is, I am buying a fucking compass.
Yeah, you would think that we would have. That was one of the things that we should have thought about.
To be fair, we did have a ranger friend for 2 days.
I wonder what happened to that ranger.
Handbag and boots, for all I know.
Who?
Some fine luggage, perhaps.
You will head along and will.
Hey, look, more mushrooms.
I
No, no,
will
no.
sit on you.
You will see this to you guys. A group of 4 of these
Oh.
little tree creatures, or creatures made of vines or vegetation. One of which is mounted on something that looks like a lizard. They're relatively small. And each of them are armed with a spear. But after a few moments of kind of sizing your group up as you're coming out into the not clearing, but area that's a little bit more clear in the underbrush, they eventually scatter into the jungle and feel that it's less but not a good idea to challenge you. One does drop something small and shiny though on the ground.
I'll leave that for someone else. My hands are a bit full of boat.
Mine.
Are we
And
sure?
Amira walks
Are we
over and
sure a
picks it up.
dune is a half dragon and not a magpie?
Amira walks over and picks it up.
Dang it.
Dune already said they were doing that.
Oh, okay.
So instead, both of you initiative off.
Ooh.
Ramiro, go ahead and roll initiative to see if you get there first.
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
Don't worry, all you gotta do is beat a 2.
Yep.
So Ramiro
I-
will watch as the small shiny object drops to the ground, and before
I was going to say that a
Dune-
Dune would be busy arguing with Diggory about the half dragon or magpie comment.
the Dune is about to take off to go pick it up, but here's the comment and just is now directly arguing with Diggory over that.
What, you go after the shiny thing the first moment you see.
Dragons do that all the time. How can you? Why dragons have horns?
Aren't monks supposed to take some sort of, like, I don't know, vow of poverty or something?
Who said that I got actually trained for this in the actual monastery?
Ramira, you will find as you go a small ring that, well, it's a ring that looks like it would go over 2 knuckles, and it seems to be a solid golden band with a bunch of arcane writing on it that you don't recognize.
I suppose I can't exactly question that logic. I taught myself boxing.
See. Now back to the hall.
Yes, by the way, I believe Ramira has out-magpied you in this case.
Dang it.
Diggory, you think you can go over these runes later?
Certainly.
Slash that away for now. Oh, we're off too.
Nothing else in the area, the party decides to continue on with their journey.
I wonder if there's a big tower somewhere that holds a mighty wizard that can give us the gift of guidance.
If it turns out that the closest thing to that nearby is where we're headed towards again, I'm likely just to head back to Port Nyanzaru on principle.
Well, we could always just put our arms together and just start hippity hopping down on a brick road and just be like, we're off to see this wizard.
Such a tremendous joke this is. The Wonderful Wizard of Haas.
But
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind everybody that while I am playing an intellectual minotaur, I am, in reality, a jackass that plays at being a comedian.
Yep. And I'm playing a high schooler. Slash college student. However you want to look at it.
Based on my experiences in college, what's the fucking difference?
Yes.
I'll tell you what the difference is. Mommy and Daddy's credit cards.
Oh, good bad one.
I have a high opinion of the college system, can't you tell?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Yep.
okay, so my continued pseudo joking aside,
The group continues on for a little while, almost making it through the rest of the day without really encountering too much. And as it begins to get um, quite oh, I'm in the wrong layer. That would explain why.
And it,
As the party begins to um, bed down, start to bed down for the night, um, begin cooking your meals, you can hear, or actually, everybody first make a perception check.
let's see.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, well, at least ways it's
Holy shit. Okay.
that one dice on my character sheet was a bit cocked, so it got me a little concerned. Was it a 13? Was it a 1?
Yes. It was a
Who
13.
knows?
I know it was a 13, but it was very tilted toward the 1 on my screen.
So the only one who doesn't notice anything for this is Idun. The rest of you will hear coming from the jungle some crashing noises that sound like they're getting very close to the campground.
Oh, fuck.
Uh,
To which you guys will, I assume, get Idun's attention.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do, 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 do,
the group
do.
will see two
Oh,
very large Gorillians charging in towards your camp. But they
EK.
seem to be, well, undead. They're zombies. Welcome to Initiative.
EK. Undead Kongs.
it is at this point that I'm going to be honest with myself and say that my AC is actually 20 and is actually 18 because Diggory is actually going to be grabbing a hold of his maul for this one to try this out. Can't two-hand a weapon and shield.
Did it not take my roll?
I may have, you may have got it in there as I was clearing out the old rolls. I'll just add it in there for you.
Okay.
14. Ramira, Shana, two Gorillions, Diggory, Idun.
I
Yeah,
could
everybody
probably
is in
say
there.
that Donna's kind of surprised and shocked about how tall they are, how big they are.
I am
Oh,
going
okay.
to
Speaking
not
of-
make the joke.
Speaking of surprise, is for everyone else normal round and Iduna's surprise round, or the other way, or is it just normal?
No, everything's normal. I would assume that at least one
Okay.
person out of everybody would have given your attention as soon as they heard everything.
Okay. Yeah. If I had rolled a 1, then yeah, no. She'd be still upset about the magpie comment.
All right. Which Gorillion is this one's first? You have a speed of 30.
Are these flippin' dinosaurs?
30. It will rush up to the group, taking the dash action to get right here, and then scream in Shauna's face.
What type of roll? Or
Nothing.
no type of rolls?
No
Okay.
roll. It's just just an undead beastie just screaming at the top of its lungs directly in your face.
Roll.
Les's turn.
It's spit on me. My ears.
All right. Well, Les is going to.
Do more.
Yeah. Haha. Les is going to cast Hex on the other Gorillion.
Okay. Before you cast the spell, roll me a d20.
Oh no.
As long as I keep it above
Yay.
10, I should be fine. Unless I'm
Okay.
completely wrong in this assumption.
As Les begins to channel the spell, figure since you're right next to her, you notice this first. The handprint on her face glows, changes to a shade of green, and then suddenly Les is glowing as if she had the spell Fairy Fire cast on her.
Hey, I was scared.
Okay, now she can cast the spell.
All right. Well, it's still Hex on that Gorillion.
Okay.
Hey.
Fresh my
All right. And that's a leveled spell. That uses up the action. Even if it was a bonus action, but the spell cast. So
You can still take a normal action. You can't cast another spell.
yeah, so I'm not gonna. So I can't cast Eldritch Blast. But on that, Les is actually going to take a few steps back behind Diggory.
So you are casting hex on them. What are you hexing?
What do I mean? What
That's
am I?
a
What am I
question.
hexing? Whenever until the spell ends, it's an hour-long concentration. Until the spell ends, I
You're
deal an extra
still
1d6 necro damage.
Okay, never mind. What will work for hex? I was thinking of a different spell. That'll work. Hex.
I think you were thinking of uh Baldur's Gate 3 hex.
Yeah, I was
Or
thinking of the Baldur's Gate 3 hex more that you would decrease or make them make
That's
AoE.
Bane. I think Bane is what you're thinking of.
Bane just
Bane
is
is
a
not.
minus is 1d4 penalty to ability checks and the like.
I was thinking of the way that it would just it also deals extra necro damage, but it also no, it's the same thing. You choose one ability to when you cast a spell, they get disadvantage on ability checks with the chosen ability. So what stat are you hexing?
Strength.
Okay. Yeah, so I was thinking of the right thing.
I just wasn't reading it enough.
It's not one of those very
Yeah,
out there. It's literally buried in the text.
Yeah.
make your attacks deal an additional 1d6 necrotic damage to the target and give it disadvantage on an ability of your choosing.
Okay, so it is hex at strength. Dune.
Uh,
Hmm.
Cone. Going to breath weapon.
Okay. Constitution save on the one right in front. It will fail.
Takes full 6. And then I will punch it.
Punch away.
That was a perfect wheel of animation at that point.
You will hit and you will deal 5 damage.
And I will use focus point to do stunning strike.
So what's the DC?
13, same as the previous.
No, it is stunned.
Yeah. Stun condition until the start of my next turn.
The wheel of anime was Attack on Titan, where the queen goes to punch Levi in his side,
Mm.
Fun.
right as Pichu-kun was having Idun punch the undead ogre or monkey
Thing.
thing.
It's an
And that's
undead
it.
4-armed monkey thing.
Yep, and that's it.
Okay.
Ah,
The other Grillion will be going on.
darn you, Sublime Anime, calling it where they have the ogres being pigs.
I misread one of these things, so I'm gonna do this one right to make these
Slimy
things a little bit more
Sakai's orcs are
clarifying.
pigs, not ogres.
The
Yes.
Grillion will start
Yeah,
charging
orcs.
towards Diggory, and then we'll take a bonus action to be aggressive towards him and just charge forward and still be able to attack.
Joy!
He is
Yay!
taking all 5 attacks against you, Diggory.
I
You're
chose
the
the
only one.
wrong time to drop my AC.
Shut up.
Well, it has disadvantage on strength attack, so let's see, 1
18
and
hits.
18 for
You gotta love when the DM actually realizes he did a mistake. Or they did a mistake.
7 points of damage to you.
Oh.
49.
And then 4 attacks with the claws. 1,
Miss.
miss. 2,
Miss.
a 1.
Oh, yes.
Means
That one. The rule of failures.
Its arm falls
Good.
off.
this could stop the rest of the attacks, depending on what it is. Let's get my fail table up. Slash roll.
You might be saved by Nuffle.
1d100 of 52, which is it falls prone, and it could potentially drop one of its arms.
Cool.
You were saved by Nuffle.
So let's see.
The
Let's put
guy
it into a-
decided to run off the pitch, and I'm going to be the Blood Bowl fans in just a minute.
It's fallen over, and let's see here. As it throws its punch, you hear a sickening tearing noise as one of the 4 arms rips off and whizzes by your head, and almost hits less, but just happens to go by her as well.
And then all of a sudden, nuke.
Well, if not Nuke, I'm definitely going Nova.
And that is now Ramirez's turn.
Just thinking of Queen Dizzy's insta finish move. Her insta kill.
It's actually a thought that I'll run by you, Dehedro, when we get to my turn.
Okay.
Where's my load up?
Chaos. Chaos.
Well, if it works, there will be chaos.
For I am chaos incarnate.
Oh,
In a
What are we
good
doing,
way.
Ramirez?
Well, apparently all the features and traits I put on my card are gone.
Oh no.
So one here in roll 20, that is. That's pain in the ass. Alright. Oh, there, so we don't have to go to my fucking book. Of course, I'm going to enter rage.
Okay.
A little bit. I haven't played in a while. I've lost track of mine for all of this. I would have to all remember. Reckless attack. So I'll have the advantage, but then have the
You-
advantage against me for the rest of the time.
You already have advantage against the drilling because it is stunned.
Well, true, but I must use my reckless attack if I want to use frenzy, which I want to.
Okay.
Because that's just going to allow me to deal some extra damage. At least for the first attack. Alright. Change that.
The 20 hits.
That first is going to be 13 plus 2 from rage damage is going to be 15, but then for frenzy, an extra 9.
All right.
Slashing into that 8 with my great axe. And there's nothing else nearby for cleave, so that's pretty much useless. I'll just do my 1 extra attack. And all attacks are advantages because of what happened to this.
Yep. All attacks against this currently until Idune's next turn are at advantage.
Okay, just keeping that in mind.
24 hits.
That'll be for 17 points of damage.
You are taking chunks out of this undead Brilliant.
Fantastic. That'll be it of my turn.
All right. Diggory, your turn.
First, a question. The Crusher feat allows me to move a creature no more than one size larger than me 5 feet in a direction when I hit with an attack.
Uh-huh.
Does that also include up and or down?
Are you trying to crush this thing into the ground?
Well, half of the, if not, half the idea was to do basically a either a Street Fighter variety juggling combo, or just bury this guy 25 feet in the ground.
Shoryuken!
Wouldn't let you. You can try. It is like solid ground, so you would have to. I would make you make a very hard strength check. See if you can actually crush it into the ground, but you can always try if you want to.
Well, we are going to certainly try, because here's what I'm going to do. First, bonus action to shadow across from the other side of the gorilla.
Shoryuken!
Actually, I need to
The Burning Bird Ball!
I need.
There's shadow.
Thank you. Okay, no, I can actually do this. Okay. At least as far as my resources are concerned, whether or not I'll be allowed to is a different matter entirely. Okay, so first and foremost, I am going to start by unleashing Incarnation. So when I get a bonus attack from my Shadows location, so that's going to be 3 attacks with my maul against this creature. And going like from me, then the shadow, and then me again, because I just want to be silly about this.
Working on the railroad, gotcha.
All right, so 17 from me,
Yep, 17 hits.
16 damage. Shadow, 14. Well, actually, no, this is
14.
advantage because he's prone.
Yep, so it's 27. That still hits.
For 15. Third attack from me, 26. Obviously, that hits.
That hit. Yep.
For another 15 points of damage.
Okay. So for each of those attacks, if you want to try and crush it into the ground, roll a strength check for each.
Okay. 7, no.
Nope.
15,
No.
okay. 23.
23 will do it. So the last one will crush it 5 feet down into the ground.
All right. And now I'm gonna have some fun. Action Surge. I'm gonna do that 2 more times. Although, actually, I just want to check something first. I get 1 action. Nope, I don't have that prepared, unfortunately, which would have been funny. Do I actually do I have it in my spell book? No. No, I don't. It must be I guess it might be a second level spell then. In which case, yeah. Okay, so no. Just 2 more attacks. And since he's 5 feet in the ground, I'm going to jump on him in doing so. And 2 more maul attacks, trying to drive him even further into the ground if at all possible.
Okay.
17 hits.
Yep.
For another 11 points. I'm glad I have advantage. For another 9. And then 2 more strength checks. I am burying this 8 misses. 21.
21 will do it. Need to roll something really quick here for the Grillion.
I think instead of missing, it would be like you.
Alright. You push it down and fall further into the hole with it. You are now 10 feet deep in a rather large hole with just you and the Grillion in the hole.
Well, me, the Gorillion, and my shadow, who also comes down with it as well. As the two of us are just standing on this thing. In effectively an open grave.
It is still alive right now.
I find that amazing. Let's see. I did 20 damage, 35, 50. I did 66 points of damage to this thing.
The resilience of the undead.
Indeed.
Just imagining it, Diggory being in Gandalf right now.
Fly, you fools! I'm busy digging too deep! Funny, that's normally Ramira's thing. Digging. Get it?
Shauna, what are you doing?
'Cause you're a dwarf!
I shall smack this thing with a sword.
Not a sword. Here you have that.
A 23. I do have the long sword on me. That still hasn't really been.
You have advantage.
That is true.
But 23 hits either way.
Yeah, but you could crit.
You could, so go ahead and roll again.
Okay. With advantage this time?
Just roll one more time. Yeah, just roll one more time, and you'll just that'll be your secondary roll.
Let's just pretend that that's the hole I'm digging.
You still hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
Wow. Or 5.
All right.
I would remind that my maul also has topple as a mastery ability as well.
He was already prone.
He was already prone, and he got hit 5 times, so he's like super prone. That's why he's underground.
But you have to have the skill for it.
I'm using 2014 fighter.
Yeah, so you won't get mastery.
Tell that to D&D Beyond and roll 20.
Shauna, what else are you doing? Still your turn.
Yeah, it's still my turn.
You have spells.
Yeah.
Meaning you just hit. You're a paladin.
That's true.
Would you
Let's
like
take type of raft do I want? Or
Smith.
How would you
what
like to
type of
smith?
smith do I want them to use?
Would you like to use Agent Smith?
I want to use Agent Smith's bomb.
I would make a joke about the Dungeon Heart series of novels, but Memes isn't here to understand it, so...
Smith bomb. Smith bomb.
You never took a long rest, did you?
Everybody has a long rest.
Yeah.
I mean, Kitsu on her character sheet. Because you are somehow starting off damaged.
For some reason, it did that, even if I was short rest. Good.
Long rest. It would have been long rest.
Smith, the divine sub. Which, yeah.
Alright, I need to check one thing really quick. Hey, because of that, you have smoked the Grillion. And it cannot undead resilience because you did radiant damage to it.
Just 2% of radiant damage, and it went what?
So how much damage was done to this one compared to the other one?
That one was exactly 59 points of damage. They had 59 hit points. Only reason this one is still alive is because of undead resilience. It just barely passed its check to have that activate. Shauna, you still
Don't worry,
technically
I think I've got him on the ropes.
you still technically have a second attack,
That's true.
and you have and you still have all your movement as well too. So if you want to,
I'm gonna be very upset, but go ahead and do it. It's gonna look cool.
I can
Let's
blast it
do
with
Adventure of Link Downward Sword Thrust.
I can blast it with the moon.
Not to tell you what to do, Shauna, but you can just jump and drive your sword through its skull.
what are you doing, Shauna?
I can literally just cast moonbeam over the hole and just.
Alright, you're moonbeaming the hole, I guess. Where are you focusing the moonbeam?
Sure, why not? Diggory's not gonna mind.
Yeah. Hey, everybody! Check out this John Henry cosplay I'm working on. Why is there a full moon directly above my head?
Orbital above orbit commencement. I let it, if you cast
Firing!
it, no matter
Orbital
what you
laser!
do, this thing is dead. It only has 1 HP right now, so...
Yeah, so does my
Moonbeam was
shadow.
Moonbeam will successfully crisp that. The shadow will get crisp.
Let's
And
see,
the
I
Diggory
need
takes
a
no damage.
Constitution save.
Yes. Just pulls out a brush
13,
and-
I just miss.
Okay, so Diggory takes 19 points of radiant damage. And becomes slightly tanner from the moon.
I said I want to.
Smoking and singed, Diggory is going to very slowly crawl out of the hole.
Well, it finished it very quickly. I just love painting wonderful pictures, looking down at the burned crest in the ground.
It is truly an astounding sight to behold, Shauna. In fact, I think you should get a closer look for better inspiration. I just push her in the hole as she's leaning over.
So are you going to try and stop it, Sean, or are you just going to give it and fall into the hole?
Acrobatics!
Acrobatics for what?
To try to.
11.
For what?
Well,
Trying to stop it? Or
Are you,
just.
are you trying to stop or fall safely? What are you trying to do?
I was thinking of looking cool, but okay. That's
Or-
fine.
What were you trying to do with the athletics? That's what I'm trying to ask, so I can figure out what's going on and help and describe what happened.
There's three things you could do: stopping yourself from falling in, making it so you're doing well fall in, or jumping along with his push to the other side.
Was thinking jumping to the other side.
Okay. So that's actually an athletics roll for jumping.
Athletics, not acrobatics.
Acrobatics is more stopping your fall, or trying to go through something a little bit more.
You're better at athletics anyway.
It's the same thing. But both failed at the same time.
I mean, the acrobatics would have succeeded, so what I will say is that you try to jump across, come up short, but because of your acrobatics roll, you do land gracefully and you don't take any damage from the 10-foot fall.
Little piece of chicken. There was chicken in this wall.
You will quickly climb out. The party will go ahead and be able to make camp, finish making camp, and the rest of your night goes mostly uneventful, besides the smell of rotting grilling not too far off from your campsite.
And the ever so slight smell of roast beef.
Well, that's what makes it slightly more pleasant, because you smell the roast beef.
Fortunately, there were some Kaiser rolls with rye seeds. No, not nuts. Caraway and coarse salt. Some horseradish.
Wall chicken. Just kidding.
If you don't know what I'm describing, it's called beef on weck. It's delicious.
It is.
I'm gonna look into it.
All right.
But you do definitely need the Kaiser rolls with caraway and coarse salt.
Who is guiding your expedition today?
Long rest.
I got no issues rolling again for this.
Go for it. You do have the highest.
There we go.
Maybe you will tell that you are actually right there for now. What direction are you trying to head in? You stay right down there?
just going ahead and going for Omo at this point. Unless anybody else wants to go somewhere else on the map.
No, the other place I was planning on going to was
Kahakla or Iklawazi.
yeah.
Omu is technically closer by 2 hexes, but
Alright then. Omo.
So, which hex are you trying to go to? This one or the one directly south?
Let's go directly south.
Okay. All right.
Sounds like a place that you would find a lot of cows.
Oh my god.
now that is a cultural stereotype that I feel that I must say is entirely accurate. I really must tell you, though, you might not want to be around, unless you're of a mind, whenever somebody asks if they want to play bingo. Of all things, I did not expect you, Kari, to understand the reference.
And bingo, what's his name?
Boy.
Wrong bingo. Or do you really want me to start going down the county fair phenomenon that is cow pie bingo? It's really quite fascinating, really.
I'm going.
Nosberry Farm. Here we come.
With that entire day's travel there.
It is. I am going through and see what's going on. This is fun.
You run into a county fair where they're in the middle of a round of cow pie bingo?
No, actually, we run into the non-Raspberry Farm, and we meet Snoopy.
Huh. Oh yeah, I forgot about that reference.
Okay.
And he has his sunglasses on, so it's actually Joe Cool.
Whoa, look! Up in the sky, it's the Red Baron! And the World War I flying ace!
Do I have to go for this? This is more of the question.
That is not what you would want to hear from your DM.
Oh no, the worst thing you don't want to hear from your DM is, ooh, I actually have a mini for this. Which I actually got to use last week.
Actually, the thing you don't want to hear from your DM is, I need some more dice for this.
Oh, that too. That too.
Can I borrow these sixes? More.
I have.
More.
I've got 36.
I will tell you when I'm done.
Yeah, and then the big way to totally break your player's mind. Ah, Yahtzee.
You know, I haven't done this party yet, so I'm going to, because I rolled a down 20 for your encounter here.
I feel both honored and terrified.
We ran into a 40k orc war boss who needs 60 d6s to attack, and he only hits on 6s. And then he also adds a die whenever he rolls a 6 for his hit die.
I don't have the, where is this token that I got for this? There it is.
Roll20 really does need some better organization methods for tokens.
Especially when tokens that you've uploaded.
Exactly. I have, like, you're only going to see it on my side, but I have so many folders of other tokens that I've used over the years, including Dungeon Bowl, Town NPCs, generic side quests, and one file called Fuckery.
Not fuckery.
Yeah, you want to talk about that? There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Who wants to roll a D10 to find out what's in Fuckery?
Eight.
I'll be perfectly honest. You don't want 8. I'll share it in Discord, but I probably shouldn't put it on Twitch. But that means I gotta go digging through my files about that. So, continue. I'm going to, dig. Oh, he's only done it once, but he's probably gonna do it again some other time.
It's in his name.
True.
Okay. This is a fun one I have pulled out for a while. I love this encounter. Almost immediately after waking up.
That's a line.
I clicked it on. You will find floating in front of the room.
Is that a foster's home for imaginary friends scribble?
No.
Okay.
It's just scene either you find a silver shimmer just in the air. The area around you is completely cold, as if it is a perpetual winter in the area. No frost or anything on the ground, but you feel the temperature cold. You can feel lightning wind cut through you.
Dude is fine. Does not care. At least it's about cold.
Or did the Ice Age just come along suddenly? Yes. I am not gonna change that. Saying.
Everybody, please make me a perception check.
Yeah, okay. I found it.
Ice. Nothing.
I'm dropping. I said I would. I'm dropping it in Discord. Here's your
11.
8.
Uh-oh.
Perception, you said?
Yes.
Huzzah!
Alright, both Les and Diggory, which is nice because Les wants me all to tell anybody this. All around
No.
the room, you can see shimmers of something moving around. They seem almost humanoid, but something about each of the shapes seems horrifying off. And you can tell you're surrounded.
Delightful. Very well. Now, what precisely part of the Feywild did we interact with last time?
What, if anything, are you guys doing? They don't seem to be bigger. They don't seem to be coming at you just yet. But they don't seem to be wanting to let you leave the area either.
I'm going to wrap my hands around the handle of my maul, the Maul of Terror. I'm just going to hold for a second, in case this attracts any action from them.
You can hear a soon as wrap that, and I'm guessing you can bring it up to a combat ready position.
If not combat ready, at least weighs in a manner that says, I'm willing to throw down.
A bestial roar will ring out as that thing almost out of nowhere.
I'm very dragon. Oh, things from the winter, apparently. From what it looks like.
Creatures with disfigured heads that look like these multiple arms, very muscular, and stepped out of seemingly thin air into the area around it. Each of them seems to kind of be flickering in and out of existence at the exact same time. As if they don't belong and don't belong here. Time for initiative.
Don't mind me, I'll return to my initial spot in a moment. I'm just...
Oh no, really?
I can... Well, I can hit 5.
Well. These initiatives are fun to look at.
What is the other on top of it? That everybody degree less. Alright.
It's weird considering that 17 is not a great initiative roll in this case.
Oh, first up is this one will charge towards you Dune. And as it rears back, a small sword seems to appear in his hand and slash out at you. A miss. Yep. And that'll be its action. Next up is this one over here, little charge board. And clutch and two hands together and swing it as it does. A large misty club appears in his hand as it swings towards Dig.
Well, I was going to say I'm going to try to intercept it with my maul, but it turns out I intercept it with my face. Yeah, because 24 definitely hits. I'm still at 18.
For 10 points of damage. And as the club makes contact with you, Dun, or Diggory, you will, for the brief seconds of the rest of the group, flicker out of this from the plane, find yourself in a barren hellscape with fires of volcanic activity surround you and smoke billowing the ground before you come back and see the beast almost smiling at you.
If I wasn't going to remove that smug grin from your face, I would love to find out how you did that.
This one is going to charge in Ramira. And attempt to hit. 23. It will run up. Have it hand by side as it thrusts him forward. A misty spear comes pierces in hand and stabs into your stomach. Dealing 12 points of damage to you. I think everybody else around there will see Ramira for the briefest moment flicker out of existence. And you hear it in that same hellscape Diggory before turning back the creature grinning evilly at you. This one will charge towards left. And it will attack. Bringing the hand back. It great misty dagger that stabs toward left.
18 hits.
For 7 points of damage. And less flicker and go the whole thing and then come back. Get down. Your turn.
I like how this is moving things in this order. Now, change.
You punch it, and as you do, it flickers from existence and no longer exists in a brief moment, reappearing at portal.
Interesting.
Okay. So. This one.
Okay.
Punch.
All day.
Critical hit. Go ahead and roll on the 100 for the table. $38. You'll be dealing double damage. Roll it. Yep, 16 damage. And as you punch through it, it will flicker from a distance before you re-emerge from the portal.
And perception punch.
Okay. That's funny, will hit. 12 points of damage. That one will flicker from a distance before re-entering the portal.
I think, my friend, you have punched them just enough for me to get an idea.
You will notice because each punches, while you feel like a solid attack, additionally when you punch these things, after that, they feel like you're punching through water is the best way to describe it, but not exactly water.
This is uses ice punch next.
Anything else you need?
This in there.
Alright. That's one. Bird is more to do. One does hit. For 13 points of damage.
Gonna use my reaction to lift attack. Is it piercing or slashing?
It is piercing.
Good. So
He's running up and causing longer sort of and thrust forward.
Okay. And because I brought it down to 0, I'm gonna redirect it back at it. I'm gonna redirect the attack back at it.
Okay.
Yep.
It passes. Does it take no damage or partial damage?
DC 13 saving throw or take.
Okay, so it doesn't. Okay. He is there now.
Yep. I did not take damage.
I agree.
Redirect.
I'm actually going to hold my turn until after I do something with less.
Okay. Less.
Less is like Diggory is just going to quickly call out, "Less, Eldritch Blast those other two," and she's going to. And it's one beam against the one in front of Ramira and the other one in the other corner.
Okay. Blast. Roll a d20, please.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that momentarily, but 15. If I'm remembering the wild magic table properly, I'm hoping that's not turned into a potted plant.
As the second time that happens, as she begins to cast the spell, the palm print on her face glows. She reels back and tries to cast Eldritch Blast, and then suddenly,
and then suddenly, opens up. And even you left.
no. Oh gosh, that's bigger than I thought. Okay.
Fireball.
Grease spills across the area. Everybody is where needs to make a I think
Yeah.
Dex save for less.
I'm glad I didn't do what I thought I was going to do.
Oh, hallelujah. I don't have resilient either, but I still rolled high enough.
All right. The mirror is thrown. As is Shana. And both Les and Kari can hear giggling in your head from that sounds like the voice that talked to you briefly when you crossed over Shana that ring of mushroom. And then Eldritch Blast goes off.
Sure.
I think they were a tail or something.
Eldritch Blast against the first. 15.
That will hit.
For 12 points of force damage.
Okay. It will flicker out of existence and appear over here.
Not quite what I was planning. Well, the other one's going to do the same thing regardless and shoot the guy in the corner anyway. I'll still follow through with my plan. 19.
That hits.
14 points of force damage.
This one will flicker from existence and then reappear next to the portal.
Okay, that works actually reasonably well for me. Les is going to stay where she is, because I know what Grease does. More importantly, so does she. Meanwhile, Diggory is going to start by manifesting Echo over in front of the three guys is by the portal. So I can do it up to 30 feet away. Or 15 feet away, rather.
All right, there.
Yep, that's fine. I am then going to swap places with him. Wait, no, that's a bonus action. I need my bonus action. All right. Yep, I've already used my bonus action, so I can't teleport. That's fine. That's actually fine. Okay. So Diggory is going to move 5 feet out of the grease. That's probably going to require a dex save.
You'll get from starting your movement there, yes.
10.
Wait. No, you're leaving your area, so you're fine.
Okay. So 5, 10, 15. I'm going to take my first action while also unleashing Incarnation. One attack is going to go.
You step here and then left.
That's right. So I'm willingly taking an attack opportunity.
Okay.
20 hits.
8 points of damage. And then you flicker and roll me a D8.
Okay. 6. Well, he's already used his reaction. That's 15.
As you wait away there, as you get hit, you flicker again and appear right over here.
Well, dip. All right. Well, I'm leaving it again.
Okay.
Let's see, if I started there, I went 5, 10, 15. That's when I went, so that's 20, 25. And now I attack along with Unleash Incarnation.
Okay.
So the first attack from me. Hopefully 14.
14 misses.
Okay, well, Unleash Incarnation's going to happen again against this guy. Anyway, I still make an attack. Please be the proper one. It is! Critical hit from the shadow. And the top row.
Whoa.
That is...
Roll a
Oh,
D100
that's right. I
really
need a
quick.
D100. Forgot about the critical rules. That is a 21.
21. Double damage.
All right, so a total. That's just the total damage, or the damage die.
It's not your total damage is doubled.
Okay, so that's 20 points of damage, plus
This one right
on
here.
this one, the one in front of the. Because Crusher throws that guy into the portal.
All right. You have officially figured the thought out is what's going to happen now. As you smash, your shadow lines up and smashes as it's going to watch the flicker out. And you notice that as it is beginning to flicker, you can see from shadow there is a small crystal that is floating in the center of the creature. Your shadow hits it and sends it into the portal, which causes a pulse to go out, and each of the creatures flickers around and appears in different areas.
Okay, well, 1, that isn't quite what I expected. But 2, it's kind of what I expected. And 3, it worked better than I expected. The problem is now...
Getting it to work, then
Getting it to work the
Again.
next time. And I still have one attack that's just floating that I can't reach.
You have 10 feet of movement left.
5.
Oh. I forget.
So I started here. 5, 10, 15 to get to where I am.
You would have 10 feet of movement because when you got here and teleported here, that didn't count against your movement.
Okay, well, so then... There. That would be 30. There goes the last floating action I'm going to do on the guy again, on this guy. Uh, 10 misses, likely.
10 misses.
Man, it's amazing that my most effective thing came out of my shadow today. But I've got
It's
ideas.
almost like your shadow is telling you, hey, I could have totally dragged Shauna out of the thing with no negative repercussions to yourself.
Yes, but and this is a big but, emphasis on big but, it could work to a specific advantage.
No, your turn.
I'm so surprised that he just didn't.
Well,
There is a thought that only occurred to me like about 30 minutes ago.
Like chaos.
Well, it would have been it would have been chaos had I thought about it at the time.
You can just stand up.
True.
It's only if you start your turn, or if you enter or end your turn in the grease that you have to do that besides the initial one. And it counts as difficult training. So you stand up.
yep. I stand up. And I'm going to walk myself out. And use and pick up my mirror.
Okay.
It's actually kind of funny considering that the grease spell has created a place that's probably the safest for less to be in.
Yep.
I forgot I had level roll for the falling, but again, that was after the initial one, so she's fine.
Too bad she doesn't have levitation.
So that was one
Thank you for
action.
reminding me.
And bonus action is probably something I don't have. I will. Okay. I will bonus action. Protection. And I will just sit here and guard Ramira. Because why not?
This one. Tap on the grease. Towards less, and take a swing at less. With a critical fail.
Okay, so they apparently are immune to grease. That's nice.
$7d6. It will stumble away 5 feet. And less gets to make an attack of opportunity, a free one.
Oh, cool. Quarterstaff. Please.
It automatically hits. And it crits! So, 1d100.
That's pretty high. 95.
Sever a random appendages. Deal max damage. Plus 1d20.
Max damage plus 1d20.
Yes.
Next, yes.
So roll a 1d4 first.
All right, rolling 1d4. No, take those 20s out. Oh, wait, it's a quarterstaff. It's a d6.
Nope. So 1d4 is determine what appendage that you knock off. So with a very expertly timed smack, the right arm of the creature gets knocked off from less.
Here's hoping it's not a southpaw.
I'm suddenly anatomy mode.
And then you can roll damage plus 1d20.
All right, it's roll damage or max damage.
Oh, it's max damage plus 1d20.
Okay, so 1d20. So max damage is 1d6 minus 1, so 5 plus. Why does it have to be a low roll on the biggest die? So 8.
Oh. Either way, it will flicker from existence and reappear whole again
delicious. Well, at least it's not moving.
Such a perfect anime moment ruined by flickering portals.
Well, there's options still here.
Well, it is Ramira's turn, so
Freya, of course. What the hell? Conjuring age again. Usual. I'm going to attack with the frenzy.
18 hits.
Speed weapon, that's including the rage damage, but then is frenzy. 2d6.
Your axe cuts straight through the creature, and it flickers and then reappears by the portal.
Alright. Not really much else to do, so I'm going to be in my turn.
Okay. At the beginning of the round, the air becomes cool, very, very cool for the briefest moment. The wind seems to pick up. And the portal reappears.
Well, there went that
Over here.
one.
Ramiro, I need you to make a Constitution save.
Hey!
Fucking
Just a moment.
I want to roll.
Dehedro, I hope you know I am going to be stealing this idea.
I will, after I get done with this, after this game or this encounter, I will be more than happy to explain what the encounter is.
All right, because I'm applying. I'm looking at this and applying it to my Nilbog boss for low levels. This could be so fun.
You, Ramira, are restrained as ice forms at your feet, locking you in place.
Lovely, alright.
So your speed is 0, you can't benefit from any bonus to your speed. Attacks against you have advantage, but they already did. And you have and your rolls have disadvantage, attack rolls. And then you have a disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
I'm portal.
So anyway, it's your roll.
Now you're thinking of portals.
Anyway.
This one is going to charge towards plus.
Still immune to
Confirming,
grease.
confirming degree suspicion. Yes, these things don't care about the grease.
All right, roll another crit fail and nope, 19 hits.
Or crit! Friend! It landed a crit one.
Or less will be flickered and reappear over here.
Okay. Interesting. Now, this is a quite the gimmick. I like this.
This one's turn. It will attempt to attack Diggory.
15 misses.
All right. That is its turn. This one will attempt to attack Diggory's shadow.
10 misses.
All right. What you doing?
Just for like future reference, my shadow's AC is 17.
Okay. What you doing? What are you doing?
Will go 5, 10, 15, 20.
And his eyes are focused on the portal.
Gonna use Breath of the Dragon.
You actually need
That.
doing the line.
Yep, the line.
All right. Saves me the roll.
I think you would, even if I did my normal 15-foot cone, I don't think Shadow gets hit.
If what I saw when you were measuring it out was any indication, he would.
You would?
Okay, he would. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I did line.
Okay. What's
It's 2d8, 6 saving throw for, or take 4.
Wow.
Yes.
so front one?
Ouch.
They are fine.
And it's half on a successful.
Oh, okay.
So 2 and 4.
Okay. Okay. So this one will flicker and reappear over here. This one will flicker and appear next out of the portal.
I was here, actually.
You were
Yeah, I think you were here.
yeah, you were right there, yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20. Five, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. That does not hit Ramiro, right?
No, it doesn't. The first cone would start out beside you would be 1, and then it would be next one. So yeah, no, your mirror does not get hit.
But the portal does.
normal breath weapon?
Cold.
Cold?
DC 13 and on a failed save, take half.
Okay. Let's see.
And it is 15.
For the creature, it fails. This part actually matters.
That answers something.
So the portal, as it gets hit, lets out a large pulse. This creature flickers out of existence. The portal reappears up here, and each of the creatures flicker and then reappear in random locations.
It's weak to ice.
Boy, howdy, do I have a thought.
Anything else you're doing to Dune?
Then we're going to bonus action punch this one.
Okay.
Punch. And miss.
9 misses. Ramiro, because the portal has moved, you are no longer restrained.
Sweet.
But it is the creature's next turn. And it's going to focus on Idun, letting out a guttural roar. It conjures 2 weapons in its hand and attacks you twice.
Okay.
15, and it hits a, second one is a nat 1.
So 15 misses and 1 is fun.
And it rolls a 61 on that table, which is...
Oh.
This mid-combat candy break sponsored by Reese's Strawberry Peanut Butter and J Cups. Holy fuck, these are good.
Tumble away 5 feet, and it skips its next turn.
But no.
No attack of opportunity.
Dang.
Diggory, your turn.
Okay, let us have some fun. 5, 10, 15, and 1 attack against this guy.
Okay.
Hopefully making them go poof.
22.
That hits.
The damage is minimal, 9.
He flickers and reappears in front of the portal. Or from the portal.
5, 10, 15, 20 from the shadow. Unleash Incarnation to crush him into the portal. Please, not that one. Yes!
It is not that one.
23 hits.
23 hits for 14 points of bludgeoning damage as he is bodily thrown into the portal the same way.
Yep. And creature will dissipate as it's pushed into the portal. The portal reappears just on the other side. Both, and these guys will all flicker into random positions. And then both for the Shadow and for Idun, I need Constitution saves.
The shadow has a
What is
10.
The Shadow
Go on. Keep going.
is restrained,
11.
as is Idun, as ice forms crusting their feet, locking them in place.
Okay. So, this guy is skipping his next turn.
Let me look at something.
Am I safe to...
He effectively has a stun condition.
That's what I was going to ask. Because Diggory is now going to turn around. And I'm hoping I'm reading this right. Where is it? Where is it? No, it's not. Okay. He's going to
That
turn
would
down.
probably be a
He's
14.
going to turn down
You know.
and charge at this guy. Yeah, and I am going to do two things. One, I'm going to use my other attack on him, but also as part of that, utilize Hammering Horns.
Okay.
So first and foremost, the attack, 15.
15 hits.
Okay. And then he takes a strength save. Damn. All right.
I have an aura. I have the
Alright, well,
aura
that doesn't
protection on
Well, it
me.
doesn't
so-
change the fact that Crusher still happens. He goes back 5 feet.
Wait a second.
Hold on. He flickers and reappears over here, stepping out of the portal.
Okay, I've moved 3, 4, 5.
Okay, question.
I don't have, even if I swap places, that's 15 feet. I don't have enough movement to swap, so
Yes, Digi.
Would a 14 have done anything different for...
Yeah.
No.
Because Kitsu's Aura of Protection does add +3 anyone within 10 feet of her character.
DC's 15.
Okay,
This is 15. Okay.
just double checking. Because
if that Hammering Horns had gone, if that strength save had gone through, I would have knocked him. Would have knocked him 15 feet back and into the portal.
Don't worry. I have an idea.
Unfortunately,
Anything else?
I don't have any more. Don't have enough movement to get places. Wait a minute. One second. Where is it? No, that's Arcane Recovery. Used Unleash Incarnation a second time. Okay, you know what? Actually, I've got one attack still floating. I'm just gonna do it. Action Surge. Not to attack, but to use the dash action. So I get another 6 movement for a total of 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I get to the other side, and I'm gonna use that other attack here that I'm still sitting on.
Okay.
17.
17 hits.
With 13 bludgeoning damage, and back into the portal he goes.
Okay. As you see him start to fall back, a evil grin crosses its face. It flickers out and reappears on the other side of you.
Okay, now that's just blatantly unfair. Well, that's everything Diggory can possibly do.
It's Les's turn.
Starting in the middle of the grease. It was Dex, right?
Oh, only if she ends in the grease that she has to make another one.
Okay, well, she's
But it is difficult terrain right
Okay,
now.
well, she is definitely not ending her turn in the grease, and I don't give a shit about difficult terrain. Because I'm going to use Celestial Revelation, choosing Heavenly Wings. I get a fly speed equal to my speed, so I'm going to go 15 feet in the air, and then 5, 10, 15 feet this direction.
Okay.
I also, once per turn, can deal 3 extra damage to a target. That said, I'm still going to do Eldritch Blast against guy on the bottom and guy next to Diggory. Guy on the bottom first.
Okay.
15.
15 hits.
For 12 points of force damage.
It will flicker out and reappear right here.
And guy below Diggory again. 16.
16 hits.
For another 12 points of force damage.
And it will flicker out of existence and reappear right here.
All right. And that's all that Les is going to do.
It is Shauna's turn.
Shauna might screw this up. She's eyeing the portal. She is going
As
to.
you said, chaos.
Yep. She's gonna firebolt the portal.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll.
For 15. Depending on how that actually plays out. She's literally attacking the portal.
Portal will flicker, let out a pulse as it gets hit with the firebolt. And first one in order. One of the creatures flickers from existence. And Idun and the Shadow are no longer restrained.
I didn't think that would work. And she's going to stand right here.
Okay.
And that will be it.
The last couple of the creatures do not flicker out with the pulse. This creature is going to turn its attention towards Diggory and attempt to hit you.
21 would hit.
For 11 points of damage.
All right.
You will flicker and you will reappear. Oops, nope. Right there. And you will also be, on your return, you will be you will be blinded for a turn.
Okay.
Hooray for wild magic.
Ramira, your turn.
Fuck it. I'm just gonna take a regular swing at this guy. I'm not gonna use my 15 to
Fif-
hit,
15 hits.
8 points of damage. Still enraged, just haven't used mine.
It will flicker out of existence and reappear stepping out of the portal.
That'll be it, Lunky's right there.
Not going to take your movement or your other attacks.
I don't know if it'll... Nah, forget it. I'll just stay here.
Okay. And now that we are back at the top of the round, the portal will drift to here. I need Shadow to make a Constitution saving throw.
24.
It is fine.
All right.
Idun, your turn.
Sorry, Shadow. Going to breath weapon in this angle.
Just how many breath weapons do you get?
I get 4 for normal breath weapon and 3 for breath of the dragon.
A lot of breath weapons. Okay.
Yes.
For being a magpie, Idun certainly is breathtaking.
Dex save, right?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Breath weapon is con.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And if you fail it, you take half. So.
Well, I succeed, so
If you
5.
succeed, you take half. So Shadow goes
Yep.
bye-bye.
yeah.
I said sorry, Shadow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see this.
You were the
real
fake
quick.
hedgehog here.
This could be. This one would do that. Nope, that's so. As the portal and the creature get hit with the ice breath as the shadow is fading, this one will flicker. This creature will flicker, and the portal will flicker from existence, bringing a calm and the heat from the jungle back to the area, as everything else falls quiet again.
Oh, but I liked the cold.
It was definitely a
Oh.
refreshing change.
Silver dragon. Cold is great.
Well, talk about a burst of
Eat.
heat. Yeah. Who knew throwing a fireball into a portal would actually warm the place up?
Oh no. Shooting ice at a portal that was causing ice happen to make it heat happen.
All right. And with that, though, we're going to end the session.
That's been a good amount of time.
That was fun. Chaos.
Chaos indeed.
Truly,
Yeah.
that was chaos.
All right. For everybody out there in Twitch land or whoever is actually besides, I think it's just Kitsu in the stream. Either way, anybody who's watching this, appreciate you watching everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we will touch base. It'll probably be. Digi, you said you'll have some free time next week.
Yes.
So since we will be the 8th and the 15th, we probably won't be able to try to play for next week and then skip 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, sure, works for me.
A thought that I did have, Chen would have to agree, is if you guys wanted to, over the weeks while I'm gone, one of the times, do a Dungeon Bowl and Dragons session. Since you could actually see of how well the team does without Zatsa.
Sure. A little bit of, I mean, 2 weeks might be a little bit short. Well, depending on what it is, it might be. Well, who knows? It might not be short notice if I drop it today. So.
Yeah, because like basically, I get back like about maybe 22nd ish or so, 21st or 22nd. So you have basically the rest of this week, all of next week, the week after that, and a good portion of that other week.
Yeah, a month should be enough time.
All right. Well, I'm going to end the stream here with that one.
All right. Well, with that then, thank you all for hanging around, chatting, being all around cool dudes over on my side. And I will see you all in the next one. Have a good rest of your day, all, everyone.
Sayonara. Bye bye.
Make sure I'm
Matane.
actually
Bye
hitting the
bye.
proper buttons.